You're listening to the NVus Alien Podcast with your host, Heather Woodward, an award-winning psychic, supernatural author, and lover of all things true crime. On this show, we're going to deep dive into topics that don't usually see the light of day. The spooky, the weird, the macabre, the paranormal, and of course, aliens. Sit back, grab a cup of tea, and let's get on with the show.
You want answers. Not motivational quotes pretending to be guidance. You want the truth that changes things. That's where I come in. I read energy like a detective. Your patterns, your blocks, the turning points you feel coming but can't name yet. I translate what the universe has already lined up for you. I'm Heather, psychic, coach, witch. 25 years of helping people stop the self-sabotage and step into their power. If you're ready to move, text me 25224194447. Real guidance, real clarity. Zero games. That's me, 25224194447. Let's pull the cards and see what happens next. Now put your tinfoil hat on. Curiosity engaged. Let's get into the podcast.
I am Gabrielle.
And I'm Jody.
And we host Podcasts of the Paranormal.
How did you get into this? Were you investigators before?
I investigated when I was in college. I was an adult student. So I started in 2009 and I joined a team. I investigated for probably maybe 2 years with them. And then I left the team, and then we got back into it just before the pandemic, just like self-care. We need something to do, something fun. Let's get back into this. And then he enjoyed it and it took off, and we started like planning trips around it and different things like that. And I was like, let's start a team. So we started a team, and ironically, our first investigation was in the wood on this night.
And where were you guys located on the East Coast, right?
Yeah, we're in Northeastern Pennsylvania.
So lots of woods. Why did you choose the woods?
Funny story. When I was on the team in college, we did something we called urban legends. So we would get a couple groups, we'd split up, we'd go to a few locations that had different urban legends, and this was one of those locations. I never went there because I would always go to one of the other locations. So I said, Jody used to fish there. So I said, let's go there. I've never been there. Let's check it out at night.
And you've heard like the rumors and the legends that are around that place.
Yeah, I've heard like the urban legends, and I've heard when my group would go, they would tell us what they experienced there. So I was like, let's go. Let's check it out. Let's see if we're getting the same thing.
What are the legends around the area?
Oh,
There is a legend of like the bride. The couple gets married, then they're going home from their wedding, and he's beaten badly and she's killed. And now she haunts the area, and she'll try to get in your vehicle. You'll see her on the side of the road. The classic like woman in white legends.
witchcraft.
Yeah, there's allegations that people have practiced witchcraft in the area, devil worship.
There was like an insane asylum nearby.
Oh, nearby there was a hospital for, I don't know if it was like a medical hospital
I can't remember.
or if it was a hospital like an asylum.
It did burn down though. My father says he claims he knows where the ruins are, so
Yeah.
I'll check that out at some point. But
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was maybe a mile from there.
I'm probably giving away the place.
No one's going to know. Don't worry. Only people in Pennsylvania were like, I know what that is. But everybody
Yeah.
else, and you're like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
So there was an asylum like really close by, and then of course the devil worship or the ritual
Yeah.
witchcraft.
Yeah.
I could tell you there's definitely been rituals there.
For real?
Right, Gab?
Yeah, we did one.
Oh, that's the way to do it though. Tap into the thing that's already there and use it for whatever you want to use it with. That's amazing. Did anything happen during the ritual?
We had a lot of wind around the time we decided to end it and close it off. A lot of rustling leaves blowing around and stuff like that. It just really picked up towards the end of the ritual. And for amateurs at that kind of stuff, did a lot of research online. Gabrielle did a lot of research online. Figured out a way to basically open up for a line of communication. You know, we formed a circle. She had protection stones and stuff like that. And then we closed it the same way. You know what I mean?
It was more of a ritual. We think we know what's here, so let's stop dancing around it and let's just contact that entity and try to speak to it directly and say, is it you who's here? is it you that we saw? Because I figured that's the best way. If we do a ritual to contact them and then we ask them, is this that we know definitively yes or no? And they can't lie, they can't trick us if we're directly contacting them through this ritual to contact this entity specifically.
What was the outcome?
It said, maybe it was me. No, it said it was me, and maybe I'll keep talking to you.
But it really kind of ended it pretty quick, too. So it was more like, yeah, I'm here, but it's time to go.
Time for you to go. Time for it to go.
I don't know if it was like, it's time for it to go, or if it was like, oh, you guys have to go. That's it. I'm done talking.
I think it was time for us to.
But that might have been because our first experience, we got paced out. So we might be thinking that's the way it's going.
So it was after the first experience you did the ritual to try to contact it again.
Yes.
Did it show
Yeah.
It did not.
No.
That's so interesting, right?
It did not show itself. We don't know if we're doing something wrong, if it was only supposed to happen once. I get the feeling it was a one-time deal and that's it.
It felt like a peek behind the curtain that we weren't supposed to see.
Yeah.
Whoops, you saw this. You weren't supposed to.
Right place at the right time or wrong place at the wrong time, depending on how you view it.
But it did talk to you again. It is leaving the door open a little bit, yeah?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and try to poke the barrel and see what happens. It's an FAFO situation.
But we leave it offerings now. We go at least one time per month and we leave an offering. We say a little kind of like prayer with that. We want to work with you. We want to do it respectfully. We respect you. We respect the land. We're leaving you this offering to show that. It was asked us to praise it. And we're like, tell us what you are first. And then we decide if we want to praise you.
Well, let's go straight to reverence. You will love me.
Yeah, it's a little unnerving.
Yeah, it is.
So how did we get here? So tell me the whole story.
We got to start with the story to see how we got here.
Yeah.
So we went probably maybe an hour before sundown. We went. It was in April. It was April 20th. And it was the night after the full moon. The full moon had just ended. So we had figured like this would be a good time to go because we'd have some sunlight. We could all get our bearings before the sun went down. And we were like in the darkness there. It was me. It was him. It was a third member of our team. And my daughter and her boyfriend were with us. We walked like you park. There's like a little area to park. We walked down the road, maybe a mile and a half.
And that's an important detail because you go uphill a little bit and around a bend. So by the time you get to where the location is, the spot, you can't see lights from either end. Like street lights, house lights, stuff like that. You can't see it. They're blocked by literally a mountain on one side and going around that little bend on the ravine. And the reason I say that is because I remember when I was a kid, my father would always want to get out of there when we were fishing. If the sun went down, he's like, all right, it's getting dark. It's a little wild up here. Let's get out. And I remember when I was up there alone by myself, I would see lights in the woods and didn't really think anything about it. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to go up there that night. Because I remembered seeing these lights in the woods and being like, hey, you know what? Maybe there's something to this. Because I started hearing about, I was probably 15, 16 years old when I saw them. And as you get older, you gain a little more knowledge and you start listening to podcasts and you get into this paranormal stuff and you're like, oh, what if they're ghost lights? So they call them ghost lights, right? So we went up that night. I was like, hey, we're going to see some of this stuff up there, I think, whatever. And sure enough, that's how the night started. We were seeing that. Her daughter was getting a little freaked out over it. And her boyfriend he's a different story. He sees things.
Yeah, he was seeing shadow figures down the way, like farther down than we were. They thought they heard people talking down there.
Yeah.
But there's a water there. So the water's running water and it's like a babbling brook. Like you are always thinking you're hearing people talking. So he had gone down. They went to check that out. And then they came back with us. We were probably there maybe an hour to an hour and a half. And it was a full moon. Like the moon was still very full. And it was so bright, we didn't need flashlights. I remember that. And so we did some like EVPs, different things like that. We were like, nothing's really happening outside of them seeing the lights, the shadows.
Not as observance. We were just sitting there and observing, taking it all in. The lights are weird. They look almost like lightning bugs, but it's April and the lightning bugs aren't out yet. They illuminate and then like they go away. And then the next thing you know, they're all around you. They're going off around you. They're different colors: red, green, white, orange, blue. But they're not lightning bugs. You know what I mean? It's just you've heard of like will-o-wisps,
Yeah, that's what I was totally thinking in my head.
something like that. So like when I first started seeing them again, when we went up that night, I've done a lot of reading on them, and they link them to like the fairy world and stuff like that, but also like Bigfoot and cryptid. They show up around those type of creatures, and I guess the paranormal in general. Yeah, it's really neat to bring someone up there and show them like, hey, did you see that? Yeah, I saw that. What was that? They know that's them. That's the lights.
And pretty much if you stay there when the sun goes down and it gets dark, you'll start to see the lights.
They almost react to you.
Yeah.
They definitely feed off like your emotions, I think, because other nights that we've returned, we've gone back. When Gabrielle starts getting nervous, she thinks it's time to leave. They start popping off like crazy. They go.
That's interesting.
And you can't do it in the summer between like Father's Day when the lightning bugs come out till September. You can't really, you could observe them, but it's like, all right, is that a lightning bug or was that the light? There's a clear distinction. There's a difference. But if you're taking someone else up there to see it, they're just going to think every lightning bug they see is going to be the lights. And an interesting story too. There's a lot of changes going on up there. Let's say that it's not really construction, but there is a stream nearby, and they're doing a lot of work in the stream to reroute the stream because there's flooding issues. And when we were up there last, we saw the lights again, and we brought her cousin actually and her husband, and they saw the lights and they couldn't believe it. They're like, "There's nothing over there. There's no houses over there. There's no road over there. So what is this?" I'm like, "That's it. That's them. That's what you're seeing." But he did notice they're real dim though, aren't they? And I was like, "Yeah, they're not usually like that." So now they've dimmed out since there's work done in that section, in that area. And I'm thinking that's somehow connected. You know what I mean? They've been disturbed, whatever it is. I say they, I don't know what they are, but it's something. It's an anomaly.
So you're like, what, 30 minutes out in the woods? So you have to walk a good distance. You're not anywhere near. Is there like a path? Or do you have to make the path yourself?
There's a path that follows a road that follows the stream.
Yeah. It used to be a stream, but then it got washed, or it used to be a road that you could drive on, but it got washed out. So not like a bike path, walking path.
It's interesting too. So when you guys are up there, you see these lights, and then what happens?
So we had spent maybe hour to an hour and a half there. And then we were like, nothing's really happening. My daughter and her boyfriend were leaving, so we walked out with them to their car.
We went up there for ghost hunting because that's how we started this whole thing.
Got it. Okay.
We weren't getting any EVPs or anything like that. You can't always tell because you have to go back and listen on your computer with a good set of headphones sometimes. But we weren't getting anything. Like we've been out places where you get something on the spot, you record for a minute, you're asking questions, you get a response on the spot. That's exciting. So like that night, we weren't getting anything like that. We were seeing the lights and stuff like that. Her daughter and her boyfriend decided they wanted to go, so we walked them out basically.
Yeah.
And then the three of us were just like, hey, let's talk about our next adventure. So we went over, walked back up 20 minutes to the car, and we sat by the cars, leaning on the cars, shooting the bull. And at that point, I
think we were there for maybe about half an hour, maybe a little bit longer. And we had just been talking like about different things we wanted to do, different places we wanted to go to, different investigations we were looking at. I started hearing noises to the left of us. It was like on the other side of the road, there was almost like an embankment, like going up, and then it went like back down to like ground level. And I would hear like rustling in the woods. And I told them, and Jody's, it's just a raccoon. And I'm like, okay, like it's a small animal. All right, I'm not too scared if a small animal comes out after us. And then not even 3 minutes later, I swear a deer jumped into the road, a full-size deer.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh my God. And they're like, what? And I'm
we
like,
didn't see it.
They're like, you're crazy.
Me and the other guy.
And I'm like, a deer just jumped into the road. And they're like, no, we didn't see anything. So then they go back to talking, and maybe 2 minutes later, we're looking down the road and there's like a black shadow, and it like crosses the road, and it was almost like a person. But then by the time it hit the other side of the road, it was like a bear, like the shape of a bear. So I'm like, we better go before whatever that was starts to come this way, because now it was on the same side as we were.
Yeah, she was getting spooked. And when she gets spooked, I don't want to say like anymore that you're going to pay attention to her because she's got some kind of radar there. But again, me and the other guy were just like, you're full of it. You know what I mean? There's nothing. We saw, I think, small animals at one point going across.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying the raccoon and all that. But yeah.
So no sooner did I say, we better leave because whatever that is going to come up here, it did. It was charging us. It was grunting at us. It had like full weight. Like you could hear it running down the path
You could
towards
feel it.
us.
You could feel it.
Yeah.
You could feel the weight. Yeah.
It was like grunting like an animal at us.
Yeah. Probably about 100 yards.
It was about
No, I don't think it was 100.
No,
it was definitely not.
very
It was
close.
close. It was close to us.
probably
100
within
feet.
50
100
feet.
feet. Yeah, maybe.
It was very
Yeah.
close. It was probably 7 to 8 feet tall, full black shadow, like no light. The moon didn't even reflect off it. Like it was just blacker than black. Like it was darker than the night. It had no eyes, nothing.
No.
It was like just a black silhouette, and it had a full basket, like big rack of antlers.
No outline either. There was
No.
no moonlight reflecting off it to form like an outline. It was just like everything is illuminated around us because it's basically a full moon. And this was just, and I should mention, we actually experienced it slightly different.
Yeah.
2 of us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, mine
Yeah.
was like upright on 2 legs, just like human head, big rack of antlers, 7 to 8 feet tall. I don't know. I can't really remember like the bottom half of the body, but the first half was definitely like the top half, not the first half. The top half was definitely like human shaped, like human head, shoulders, arms, waist, and then just this big rack of antlers. But that's not what he saw.
Yeah, mine was, the way I experienced it was, it looked like it was on all fours. Hard to tell when it's coming at you, but it looked like it was on all fours, but very tall. Almost like an elk or like a moose, something like that. Very tall. But clearly it had antlers like a deer. Which is strange because, again, this is too early in the year for the deer to even have antlers. So it's not a deer. When I saw this, I had all these thoughts going through my head, and that was one of them. I'm like, what did I just see? That's not a deer. It can't be a deer from what I know about deer. It's not a deer. What is this? And then we looked at each other and we were like, shine the flashlights on it. All 3 of us.
I didn't have a flashlight.
But you didn't have a flashlight. No, you didn't have a
Guys,
flashlight.
they shined their flashlight. It was gone.
It was gone.
It was gone.
Completely gone.
Wow.
And at that point, she's screaming at me to unlock the door.
Get
Get in the car, unlock the door, get in the car. She's pulling on the door. And the other guy got in his vehicle and we just drove off.
Wow. Okay. So was there a
So-
feeling attached to it at all? Or did you feel anything, or was it just the sight of it?
I felt like it was telling us to leave.
You're here long enough. It's time to go.
Yeah, we got paced out. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's weird too, because the entire time you're walking back in the dark from that spot that's further in the woods, the entire time you're walking back to the car, you feel like there's eyes on the back. There's eyes on, something's looking at you. Something's like,
Following, like making sure you're gone.
yeah.
Huh.
And every time we go up there, it's the same experience. Every time we go up there, we get that feeling that it's time to go, only at night. It's a different place at night.
Any portals in the forest or anything like that you know of that people have talked about, or anything like
We
that?
did an Estes session, and I think that came up. We
Oh.
got something about a doorway.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
found some weird things during ST
Oh, yeah.
there.
I still have not done an Estes session at night there. Just because it's weird. You don't know what you're dealing with. You don't know what you're talking to, and you're vulnerable at night.
Yeah, but it's interesting that just comes out at night. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Like it shows itself, but if there's a portal or a doorway there or something like that, then maybe that's when the doorway is the most open.
That's the thing we kick through. We're trying to figure out, like, what did we do that night? What was significant with that night? If it's some sort of entity that only shows itself at a certain time of year or a certain cycle or what. It's just very strange. And again, we went up there looking for ghost hunting.
Of course, it's always that.
We got something completely different. So Very strange.
A completely new perspective is what we got.
Here are the things that I have been noticing about these places. Okay. Water. Moving water is a huge one.
Yep. There's a stream nearby. I'm starting to draw lines between it and the Susquehanna River.
Oh, okay. That's my other. Okay, hold on. This is my other thing. It's water that converges with other water. It has to be moving
Yes.
water and it has to converge with a larger body of water. So
Correct.
that's my hypothesis right now. My second hypothesis is something traumatic has to happen there. And you're telling me that there's the story of the woman and the man, but also there's a facility really close by that used to be there that burned. Fire changes energy. So we have that.
I'll say
West.
too, I've researched news articles to try to see like what has happened there. And
Yeah.
I found nothing of the story about this woman and this
Mhm.
man. Not a thing to tie any of the urban legends there back to the place.
That's interesting. Okay, so there's
Yeah.
nothing that it's based off of.
No.
I feel like a lot of it is imprinted there from modern times. There had been a tragedy up there.
There's probably mines underground too,
Right.
because
Oh,
most
come
of
on,
where
are
we
you
live,
kidding me right now?
most of where we live have underground mines.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course.
And digging into the ground, like I said, they're doing work up there. They're moving the natural flow of the land up there.
We had like two big rocks where we would go that we'd use. We'd sit on one, put our gear on one. They're gone. Were removed really early. And we were like, is it like moving our stuff? It doesn't
Yeah.
want us here. And then the second to last time we went, the rock that we used for the offering was gone.
Oh.
So we were like, okay, there was one across the way. No, that one was gone too.
Yes. Every rock that we used as basically either an altar or an offering spot
Gone.
is just, it's gone now.
It would say, go into the water.
Yeah.
Go into the water.
During this session.
It was
Well, I
saying,
mean, we're
yeah.
all thinking EVP. She's talking to somebody through something.
I'm going to
Yeah.
be clear about.
Go into the water is a very common thing to say, by the way. I hear that a lot.
How about penance?
Penance, no. That's an interesting one.
Told us to build a shrine to it.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Old gods do
Yeah.
that.
So the last time we went, it was during the day. It was probably like mid-afternoon. It was just the two of us. And whatever they were using had built us like this nice little ramp to just go right into the water. And the water was probably the lowest it's ever been. So we went into the water. We sat on a rock and we did an Estes in the water.
That's classic. A water table is the other one. It's either water or water table. Like
It's interesting you
underground
would
water.
say that too, because there's a lot of building going on up there. And the water table is actually lowering because of all the people that are drawing from it from their wells.
That's interesting too. The mines, like underground caves, underground mines are really, I don't know why they always are, but there's something about the trauma from the mines.
Mhm.
That trauma alone, for whatever reason, creates something in the land. Everywhere that I've heard these phenomena, there's always been something underground that has been
Mhm.
affected. Like you said, the water table, but like the mining too, for whatever reason, it creates some kind of fissure. It creates a portal or something. I don't know what the right word is. I'm
You're
trying to.
disturbing the earth, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not meant to be, it's not meant to be moved. And like I said, if you saw this place before they started working on it, like I know why they're doing it. They're doing it for flooding. They're trying to
Right.
alleviate that so bridges don't get lost. But when you go there, you just get like this sense of like sadness when you see it.
Yeah. People describe that too, the sadness of the earth. Like
Yes.
that's something when we did the ritual in Tennessee. My friend was like, I feel so much sadness here. She went and hugged a tree because she felt so sad for it because the land had been so disturbed. And that's something that I keep hearing over. And for whatever reason, those are the areas that people always do ritual. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what the correlation is.
Where I
Yeah.
grew up, right across the street from my house, there's a wooded area, and that's where kids used to go to drink and stuff like that. But there was also ritual stuff done over. There's holes in the ground you could fall in, like that's all under there.
Yeah, it's the soft spots. And I don't know what it is. There's always a correlation. Now, the last thing, and this is the big one. Do you guys have any nuclear power plants near you?
Not really near us, probably 2 counties away.
Like 2 hours?
About
Maybe an hour.
not even, probably 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
Berwick.
I was going to say within 2 hours away because it's usually an hour.
That sits on the Susquehanna River.
Yeah.
So again, that's another very big. The Susquehanna River is like one of the oldest rivers in the world.
Which the nuclear power plant sits on the river.
Sits right on it. That's where it pulls the water in for the cooling. Yeah.
Where we go is like a tributary of that river.
Yeah, it empties into it.
You hit all the markers. Wow. All right. For whatever reason, don't ask me why. Every time I hear this story, anytime I hear things about it, I'm always like, by chance, is there a nuclear power plant around there? And people always say, yeah. There's something about the nuclear energy.
That's actually really interesting to me. My go-to is always, is there a river nearby? Is there a stream nearby? I've never thought about the power plant stuff. That's interesting.
And I don't know if the power plant is near those areas or those out areas are created by the power plant, or if it's a synonymous, harmonious ecosystem.
Ticking a few boxes for me.
And then also that usually creates lots of UFOs. And I don't know.
Yeah, always around the power. I know I've heard that one. The place we go to, there's been UFO sightings up there too. It all goes together. It fits
It
together.
does.
One of our last times there, we brought the dog. And it was like a whole different atmosphere. We brought him during the day.
Yeah.
It was like everything was just so happy to have the dog there and see the dog. And it was like the ferns were waving at us. Like ferns like wave.
One little fern out of a whole patch of ferns, and it was just sitting there and kind of like fluttering like this. Nothing else around it. No airflow.
Branch would like wave at us, and I was like, "They're so happy the dog is here."
There's no wind. There's no airflow. Nothing. It's just. It's so bizarre.
So from all of your investigating, you never saw the thing again?
No,
Just felt it.
we're trying. I think we're trying.
Yeah.
It's unnerving, right? Because I didn't feel threatened by it. I just felt like we got run out. But I don't want to break the rules. And
Yeah. What are the rules?
what are the rules? Call it back and have something worse happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no rules.
Yes.
It's hard to know where it begins and where it ends. You know what I mean?
I have heard there are rules about gifting. Once you stop, or once you start, you don't ever stop.
Oh,
Yeah.
the time we didn't gift.
Yeah. Oh, you should bring that up. Yeah. That's
We
a good
were
one.
there with our third member, and he was doing an Estes, and right in the middle, it was like, run. And we were like, no, we're not going to run. And then a tree fell in the woods.
Oh my gosh.
So loud. And we were like, oh my God, what was that?
We
Like,
didn't even see
we
it
were
ourselves.
so scared. We were like, what just happened? We couldn't see anything. And then we just kept going. We were done. We told him what happened. And then we realized that was the first time we didn't leave the offering first. We left the offering.
Oh.
And we have other weird things with the offerings too. We usually bring things in threes. So I have hops that grow in the backyard. We'll bring an apple's a common thing.
An apple and a pear.
Apple or pear. And we brought
Corn.
honey the one time. We brought whiskey, acorns.
Bring hot tea because I love to drink hot tea. So I'll bring it hot tea.
Yeah. And then the one time we started leaving items in threes. And then the second or third time after we started leaving the items, we go back and there were 3 acorns placed.
No, we didn't leave the items in 3. There would be 3 of us. And we would leave offerings. And then we would come back the next time. There would be 3 of us. And it would be like a branch with 3 seed pods attached.
Oh.
And then we'd go back the next time. It would just be the 2 of us.
Yep.
And there'd be 2 seed pods. We'd go back the third time. There'd be the 3 of us again. 3 seed pods.
Yeah,
It was like 4 or 5 times that was happening. And it would correlate with the number of people that were with us.
So it knows something.
Have you done the Estes?
I have, yes.
Yeah.
And as soon as I put on those headphones, for whatever reason, I go into a tunnel and it's okay. I guess I'm going to be here for a while.
Yeah, good way to describe it. Do you
Yeah.
get the sensation of people walking around you?
Yes. Yeah. And I would
Yeah,
talk
I get that.
about, or people
Yeah.
watch me, which is really
Yes.
unnerving. Because I'm like, what do you want? Just say it and we can move on. Like,
You have to have a good questionnaire, which Gab's really good at that stuff. So
yeah, it's a little unnerving. But I just wonder, like, in that area specifically, like during the Estes, does it ever tell you future events or allude to future events or do any kind of time dilation where you are certain keywords will have something happen later on where you're like, wait a minute, this is too coincidental. Stuff like that.
It told us one time to come back on November 5th,
It did.
and it was election day.
All around it was.
It was like, come back at midnight on November 5th.
But it told two of us that. It told
Yeah.
myself and our other guy
Yeah.
the same thing.
And did anything specifically happen on that day?
We had a really bad election happen.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That was a brutal night, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awful. I went to bed early because I'm like, this is not going well. And I woke up at 3 a.m. and looked
Yeah.
and went, we're on the wrong fucking timeline. What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Like, this is not right. And with every fiber in my body, I was like, no. And it wasn't like me, I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't me like not wanting that outcome. It was
Yeah.
me going,
It doesn't feel right.
this is not right.
Yeah.
This is not right. Something just happened that wasn't supposed to happen.
Maybe we all experienced some sort of weird time dilation on November 5th.
Yeah.
Never thought of
Yeah. Because
That's when we entered the Bizarro universe.
for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something about it. And it wasn't just me. I was looking on TikTok and they call it the 4 a.m. club because a lot of people woke up between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. that are empaths or really sensitive or do ghost hunting or are in that energy a lot. And a lot of people just woke up and went, this is not right. There was a overwhelming feeling of no,
Yeah.
not I don't want to accept it.
Yep.
It was shenanigans.
Not supposed to be here. Yeah.
Not supposed to do this. This is not
Yep.
right. Which still bothers me to this day. So it's funny that's what it told you because it's eerie. Yeah.
It is very
In the
foreboding.
context of things.
Yeah.
Because I'm really good at tarot, like really good. And that's not a flex. I just am. There's certain things I'm really good at, and that's it. There's 2 things in the world that I'm good at. Every prediction I did about the election was wrong.
Yeah.
Wow. And I've predicted every presidency for the last 10 years. Or not
Yep.
10 years, 10 times. You know what I mean? Like, since I've been doing tarot, basically. Maybe not 10 times, but I'm pretty accurate. I think I missed one. And this one, nothing came up. Nothing. Not one thing nothing. And I was like, this is statistically impossible.
Yeah.
How is it I got everything wrong? And the card that I pulled for the winner,
Yeah.
it was a room with nobody in it. There was no winner. And that was the
Well,
answer.
that makes sense.
And I was like,
There are no
what?
winners. There are no winners right now. There are a few billionaires out there that are
Right,
winning
but
right now. But
there was a trophy. The card is the 9 of cups and it's strange. It's a trophy there with nobody in the room.
yeah.
I was like, that's the outcome? That doesn't make any sense to me. There has to be some winner. So it's interesting. That is I feel like that's time dilation because it was literally showing you.
There has to be a winner.
Yeah, but your creature was telling you, like it was giving you information.
Yeah. Even if it is the creature, we want to. I don't know what we're talking to up there now. I really don't.
You think you're talking to more than one thing?
Oh yeah, I think so. It's either that or it's trying to talk to us in a way that we will understand.
Yeah.
It's really latching onto the whole like Christianity thing
Yeah.
with the penance and this and that and build a shrine and
It got really religious.
got pretty religious.
Do you think that penances do something about the earth?
That was actually my immediate thought. Was saying I had to make up for something. To me, like I felt like I'm not doing anything up there that's
Yeah.
harmful.
But maybe
I-
not you. Maybe people that were there before you, like with the
Right.
mountains and moving the water. Like, yeah, like moving the path of the water. That's, I don't know. You're not really supposed to do that.
Nature did that. They're just trying to fix what nature did. But
Right.
there is actually a bridge up there too. I think it's a bridge anyway, or it looks like a wall, like a rock wall, but it's on one side of the stream and it doesn't make sense to be in the middle of the stream. So I think that was like one of the supports for a bridge that used to go across the
Oh,
stream.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So we also crossed that, and our spot is on the other side of that bridge. And again, bridges are another place.
Yeah.
Yeah, liminal.
The liminal. Yeah. It's usually over water and the water's moving. There's like this whole thing. And then I was told through something, I don't remember what, this is years ago. Like a lot of stuff from 5 years is coming back now. About the water is the knowledge, or the water has the knowledge. Water holds the memory. So like you're crossing over the water, you're literally like crossing over the knowledge. And you're taking in the information. Or when you're standing in the water, which it told you to go into the water,
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it was like, hey, you need to remember. Hey, we're trying to give you the memories of this place.
Yeah, I've been in that
Maybe.
water. Like I said, I used to fish up there all the time. I haven't actually fished there since we had the experience.
Yeah.
I haven't actually gone back to fish there. But I've been in there before, and like I said, it's just a weird place. Like even when you're up there fishing, you always feel like you have eyes on you. I don't know how to explain that, but something's watching, something's making sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I've harvested fish up there, but I've never left garbage behind. A lot of people leave garbage behind. I've never done anything like that. So to me, it didn't feel like any of this was like a warning to me specifically, but to people in general.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So-
Like you're the conduit for the information.
Great. Hey, I met a god in the woods and they're saying, hey, you guys messed up. So don't do that.
Maybe you have the capacity to heal it in some way, shape, or form.
And again, I don't want to say it was a god or a deity or something like that. I prefer nature spirit.
Yeah, because we feel like, why are we so special that a god is talking to us? So it can't be that.
Good. It could just be that you are paying attention, one.
Yeah.
Two, you're interested and curious.
Yeah, true.
And they know that you're going to do the work and try to figure it out. And three, maybe you have the capacity to heal the area.
Yeah, we did go up there looking for something.
Yeah. And maybe you just haven't got to the healing part yet. Sometimes these adventures, like I said, there's rituals that we did 5 years ago that are now like, duh. That's why we did that. Because a lot of times we go in very intuitively and just do things. And we're like, why did we have to do that? And then I'm going through footage right now of stuff that we did 5 years ago. And I'm all, this makes sense now.
It's relative now to what's going on in your life now. Yeah, that's strange.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I was just a little ahead of the curve. You might be doing the same thing for sure, like 2 or 3 years from now. You're like, why? It was right there the whole time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I want to do an episode on this, but I'm just like, it's so all over the place and disconnected, but I know it's going to eventually lead somewhere. So it could be 10 years from now and I pull it all together and go through the evidence.
Yeah.
Tie it all together. I'm going to be like, holy crap.
That's what it is. Yeah. Yeah. That's how it always works. And they're just laughing at you.
This time dilation in itself, right?
It is.
Like,
It is.
Yeah,
You're always-
so.
It is. You're always you're only kind of one step here and another step in the liminal, and you're trying to put the pieces together.
You just don't know what's happening until 10 years later.
Yeah. And they're like, we got time. We're infinite. So you go ahead and do your human thing. I gave you everything you need. You just don't know it yet. I want to go have lunch. Let me know when you get it. So this story is just so interesting to me because, again, I literally had 4 people tell me the same story. And I'm like, what's going on right now? And then I realized, like I said, it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know, why does this sound so familiar? I'm not even sure. And then I'm going over footage and I saw the 10-foot person walk past in the trees. And I'm like, what is that with the eyes? And I was like, and I have the footage of, I don't see it on the footage, but I hear myself go, huh? Because they're in the middle of doing a ritual and I'm just supposed to be filming it and watching. And I'm just a facilitator of rituals. I move energy. So I'm usually just keeping track of everything. And I hear myself go, like I said, huh? And I'm like, what was I doing right there? Because even just watching it, I was like, that's a weird thing to do right there. And then when they come out of it, I start talking about the thing. And I'm like, oh, I just saw it right there. That's so weird because I can't see it on the film. I just hear myself. And so here's the interesting part about that. You're going to love this part. So the reason why we ended up in that forest in Tennessee on that particular day, full moon, by the way, is because my friend at the time had just watched Hillier.
And
They-
here we are.
And they're talking about the goblins, right? And they go to Hillier for the goblins, and they're describing the goblins. And she literally, we had a group chat at the time. She went into the group chat and she's, oh my God, you guys, have you seen that show Hellier? I have seen those goblins. Like,
Wow.
I'm like, what are you even talking about right now? This is 3 years or 2 years after Hellier came out, the first series, right?
Yeah.
Which is funny because I did a review on my podcast way back when about Hellier. I said, I don't understand this. Why is this such a big deal? This happens every day in my life. Synchronicity is my life. So, and not putting two and two together. Duh, Heather.
I did the same thing because she watched the first season and I was just listening to it in the background. I was like, are you really into this? What is going on? I was like totally dragging it. And then years later, she's like, no, really, you have to just sit down and watch it. And then like the second season was coming up at one point.
Yeah.
Here, let's watch the first season again and then go through the second season. She's like, it'll all make sense if you pay attention. And it really does.
It does. I did the same thing you did the second time because the first time I was like, I don't get this. I do tarot cards and caves all the time. This is my life, right? Because I'm into ritual and paranormal investigating. This is nothing, not thinking. Heather, they're trying to show you something that is not normal. 3 years later, I think it was 3 years later, she's watching it first time. Like I said, I've seen the goblins. You have to rewatch it. And then I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
It made sense all of a sudden, right? So she's like, you want, I saw my family's property. We can go into the forest and do the ritual where we see the goblins. I'm like,
Oh, that's
great.
awesome.
This is great. That's not what I saw. I saw the 10-foot man. So it's interesting how that happens. That was a strange day. That was also the day we went to Kelly looking for the Hopkinsville site because I was watching this TV show about it. And I found the park from the TV show. So I have the TV show on my phone trying to find the exact spot in this park that they were doing it. A lady comes and walks up towards me and she's like, you looking for the Hopkinsville site? I'm like, yeah, how do you know that? And she, oh, I'm the daughter of Lucky Sutton. And I'm all like, wow, what just happened right now? And she's like, do you want to come inside? I'll tell you all about it. So she takes us to her house that's on the property and starts telling us all these stories, showing us pictures. And I was like, what the hell is going on right now? Oh, wow. And then I'm like, can we go to the site where the craft was? And she's all, we can't right now because there's ticks and it's like really gross right now. She's like, I take you to go look at the caves. And I was like, okay. And if you go back into the woods, there was these holes where there's all these caves. And so she showed us all these pathways. We couldn't go in them because they're all like
dangerous.
But we got to go and look at the holes and like the pathways. You could walk and see where they go. And she goes, this isn't where they were, but this is, I think, where they left. We're pretty sure that they used these tunnels to leave. Or the caves. Because this is the only place you could go underground. And I was like, isn't that interesting? And so I grabbed a rock and I was like, I'm taking this with me. And she's like, you can do whatever you want. So I have it sitting in upstairs in the hallway little area. But that was all the same day. And we go do this ritual.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a really strange day. But so that's how it happened. So then you're telling me this story. And then we go, and my friend Stephanie's with me, and we go this was like a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. We went to the convention, a very strange convention. Had water damage and the roof came down. It was very strange. But yeah, that's a weird thing altogether. But Jason tells me about the thing he saw in the forest. And he's like, oh yeah, and with these two rituals there, it's the middle of the forest, like all these things. And then Stephanie looks at me, I look at her, I'm like, I know. Like she's got that look on her face, like, what is going on here? Why do people keep telling us these stories? And then, yeah. And then I remember, because I was talking to my sister about, I was telling her, everybody keeps telling me about these things in the forest. And she's like, don't you remember the one we saw in the cemetery? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, a long time ago, like when we first started investigating. And she's like, the cemetery in Ojai, which is wooded, water, the whole thing.
Yeah.
We got streams, we got water, we got converging. there's a nuclear power plant an hour away. Like the whole thing, this cemetery, there needs to be ritual there. That's why we went there, because we wanted to know if the devil worship stuff was like actually real.
Yeah. Like you do.
But we saw the little orbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were dancing.
Oh, wow.
And you're strange that you said that they were light at first, like after a while.
Yep.
Yeah. We would literally just follow them, and I remember hearing, "Don't follow them."
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So I'm like, don't
Yeah.
follow.
Don't follow the lights in the woods. Don't follow the bells in the woods. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
we just used to go there and watch them. But this one time we went into the woods, and there's film of, I cannot find this is back when we had those little cassette tapes. Oh,
Uh-huh.
man. You know what I'm talking about, right? The video
Yeah.
cameras with the tapes.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere in the world, there is a box of tapes with a bunch of stuff on it. But I remember filming there for 2 or 3 nights, and we saw the little things, and we're walking down a path in this cemetery. It's a huge cemetery. It's really old. And we're walking down this path, and I'm like, something is following us. And
Yeah.
my friend goes, "Oh, I know. It's been following us for a little while." And I'm like, "Why didn't you say anything?" Because I didn't want to scare anybody.
Yeah. It makes you think that the lights are a distraction.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And so we're walking down this path, and I'm like, "Do you want to find out what it is?" He's, "No, not really." And I'm like, "Okay, but it's following us." And then the people in the group are like, "Oh, yeah, we see it. We just don't want to talk about it because we don't know what it is. And we thought maybe it was an animal or this or that." So everybody's seeing it, ignoring it. And I'm like, "Okay, how about we just stop right here and maybe try to talk to it or something?" And I was like, "Oh, no, let's not do that." But I'm like, "No, we have to." And so as soon as we stop, it moves ahead of us just a little bit, like 10
Uh-huh.
feet. And it has red eyes, and it's about 7 or 8 feet tall. And it was just there. I don't know what it was. And I could feel it in my stomach really bad. "Leave, go, get the hell out of here." And I was
Yeah.
like, "No, I know better. No, you're trying to scare me to get me to go away. And I'm not going to do it. So what do you want?" And it wouldn't tell us. So anytime we walk towards it, it would move 10 or 15 feet away. It was always staying like just in our periphery. And it was the most unnerving thing ever to have this thing just like, it's still there. And you could just, and it was weird because if you watched in the woods, you could see it move.
Along the tree line, like left to right.
Yeah, it would just
Yeah.
move and then stop. And I'm like, what is that? A deer? Is that an animal? Something big? It followed us the whole time we were there and until we left. And then when we got into our cars, it showed us, "I'm still here." Yeah.
Wow.
Really.
And I've totally forgot about that whole thing until my sister brought it up.
I could tell you when we got in the car that night, we didn't look to see if it was still there. And we shined the lights on it. It was gone. That was good enough for us. We just tore ass out of the place. So.
Yeah, I'm super
Yeah.
annoyingly like, book. Like
I am anymore. Like I am really not afraid of much. And when we go up there, I think that experience ruined it for Gabrielle because every time we go up there at night, she could only take so much of it. She gets anxiety when the stuff starts going off, when we start having activity. And she's like,
Yeah,
"I think we got
makes
to go
sense.
now. We're here too long. I think we got to go."
because I know what comes next.
I want to stay because I want to see it again.
Yeah.
Because the guy we're going up there with now, he was supposed to be there that night and he wasn't.
That's interesting.
We would have had 4 people with eyes on that thing. I feel like if you're not going up there with an expectation, you're not going to get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Almost going back to what I was saying before, where it like almost, it knows, they know who to show themselves to based off your intention, what you're going up there with.
That's totally a thing. I can tell you that because when Stephanie and I go investigating, we know all the ghost stories. And we're always like, "Okay, thought forms, move out of the way. We want to know what really happened here." And so we don't even bother with the children, the balls, the lady in white. We're like, "Move on over. I don't care." And we always find the most interesting things because of that, because we're not looking for the average activity, the easy stuff. Like, how many ladies in white do I need to see in a
I know.
I want to know about. There's always a kid, a blonde kid on the second floor with a ball too. So we bypass all that. It's always the more interesting stuff that people don't talk about. But it's a lot more dense too. It's a lot more emotional. It's a lot more human.
Do you my cemetery story?
Yeah. What's your cemetery story?
Boy.
When I was a little kid, a young teenager, maybe around like 8th grade, 9th grade, we would play in the cemetery, which is actually near our house now.
You're a weirdo.
Yeah, we would play there at night. We'd go in and play hide and go seek together, like a bunch of kids. And we were there one night, and I was with the group. We were like the seekers, and the other group was hiding. And we were just talking, waiting to go find them. And we look into this tree, and it's like an old tree. We're down like in the older section of the cemetery we're looking. And there was this shadow figure sitting in the tree. Think like Tom Sawyer look. He had a straw hat. It definitely was like a male figure. And he was sitting like on the branch with his one leg over the branch. And he had in his hand an axe.
What?
Yes. And he was like swinging the axe like back and forth in his arm. And we were like, yeah, we're leaving. And we never went back to play again. Then maybe 5 to 7 years ago, I'm just having a conversation with my brother-in-law who used to live nearby as a kid. And he starts talking like we're talking about paranormal stuff. And he's, yeah, when I was a kid, we used to play in the cemetery. He saw the same shadow figure in the tree. Yeah, we never talked about it before. I was like, you saw what? I saw the same thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And there's no story correlating to it at all?
I don't think so. Nothing I've ever found.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But like you said, right? So in the cemetery behind it, there's woods. And there was always the rumor that there were people worshiping the devil.
There's also a stream that runs back.
Yes,
too.
there is.
Yes, I'm saying we got the memory of the water. Everything is converging, so that energy moves. The memory of that has to go somewhere.
I just thought of this too. We did an interview with one of Gabrielle's old colleagues. And one of her he did the investigations.
Yeah, we investigated together.
And when we were interviewing him, he actually brought up a certain area in Northeast PA that they went to all the time, and they investigated. And I was like, I know exactly what he's talking about, because that's my spot. That's the spot we go to.
Whoa.
Right. So he didn't know our story at all, and he's telling us how he saw the same thing as you, something walking between the trees.
Whoa.
Shadow figures back and forth. Couldn't really make out the shape of it. Just said it was big hulking thing. When we got off the interview, we told him our story, and he's like, "How did you know it was that road?" And we're like,
Whoa.
Was that where this happened? We're like, yeah.
"Yeah." So it's nice to get that, like that
validation.
that validation to your stories.
Yeah.
What is it?
That's what I would love to know. If you hear any similar stories, send them my way. Honestly, I'd love to talk to them. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't see
Yes.
antlers, but you guys saw it in 2 different versions, though, because of your own perception of it, your own experience.
oh yeah, yeah. Which I've read that is a thing with group
Yeah.
experiences. A lot of people, they see things differently.
Whatever you got going on in your brain at the time.
It's like your brain can't understand what you're seeing, so it fills in the blanks almost.
Or almost like your own like knowledge base. Like it gives you
Oh yeah,
always
yeah.
giving you what you know.
If your biases,
I just wonder, it's not just in one woods. We're talking about things that happen in California and Tennessee.
Yeah.
We're talking about things in Pennsylvania, and Oklahoma.
I could talk all night about this. I'm fascinated with it. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's fascinating when people have the same phenomenon too that's happening in various parts of the country. And I'm sure it's not just the country too. I'm sure it's the world, but we have these similar experiences, but nobody knows what it is. Nobody can tell you without a doubt what it is.
That's the biggest problem we have with our experience with the antlered shadow. No one can tell us what it is. There's similarities between this god and this deity, and
Yeah.
there's fairy lore and cryptids.
But I've never ever heard anybody say, "Oh, I saw this specifically." It's always, "I don't know what I saw. Here, let me explain it to you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody ever has a real explanation for it. Does it make sense? There's no definitive.
Yeah, no, totally. We still don't know what we saw. Like I said, I would be happy to have a handful of people come forward and say, hey, I saw the same thing.
Yeah, and this is what it is. I would love that.
I don't think anybody knows though. Like
Yeah.
I said, I experienced it. I didn't remember it. And I had to have somebody else remind me that it happened. I just put it out of my mind. And again, the 10-foot man person I saw, the shadow man, never correlated it with the thing that I saw before. In my mind, they're separate things. And I didn't remember that either. I had to go look at the footage to remember it. I think we just put it away. Because we don't know what it is, if that makes sense.
It's almost like the story gets harder to tell over time, too.
Yes. Yes.
It's just strange how that works. I could see it clear as day. I could see it in my mind's eye. I know what I saw.
I've even
Very-
said, I dream and things happen. Come see me in a dream. Let's talk in a dream. You want to show yourself to me. You want to talk to me. You have a message for me, maybe. Let's talk in a dream.
Usually things want to talk to you. Usually dream work is where you you can outsource a little bit, but it's not even wanting to do that.
We feel like it's just a one and done sort of thing at this point.
It'll come back. I know it will.
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of when.
It presents itself.
It's maybe like a combination of people or
Yeah.
situations.
Yeah, we thought that. Yeah, we
It
did.
has to be. It has to be.
Yeah. We've considered that. We've been like, we have to bring back the same people and try to recreate that at night.
That's something to ponder. Do you think you're going to go back and try to figure it out?
We go back once a month. We've been offering, we'll do Estes sessions there. We'll do EVPs there. I just don't know how to get its attention again.
I've been trying to go at sunrise now. Like we've been there sunset. We've been there during the night. We've been there in the afternoon. But we've never been there for sunrise.
Just got to wake your husband up.
I know, but who wants to get up that early?
I know, right?
Drive like half an hour. You're napping in the woods.
Right. So where can people find you?
Podcastoftheparanormal.com. It's our website. You can find everything there. You can find our episodes, our contact form if you're interested in reaching out for anything. Yeah. All the different locations where you can listen to the podcast are there.
Thank you for listening to the NVus Alien Podcast. For show notes, go to the website www.nvusalien.com. All of the reference materials and mentions in this episode are linked there. If you want more witchy, paranormal, and fringe content, please subscribe to my Substack. Just search Heather Ashera, that's Heather Ashera, or check the link in the show notes. And as always, see you on the flip side.